Hey guys, what's up? This is coming from GNA today. So my channel features a lot of 22 LR rifles. This video is going to be focused solely on 22 LR rifles, semi-auto, tube-fed, and bolt-action. And yes, I'm going to have the script up here. I'm just trying to get through this as quickly as possible, so you'll be able to read that as I'm going through here. I am not a lawyer. Do not take this presentation as fact. Consult a local state FFL before purchasing any firearms. But I will have documents open from their state agencies as we go through here. I probably will have some mistakes because of the convoluted laws and because there's just so many of them. It's hard for me to go through all of these. There are two main considerations whenever you think about the laws regarding these. The first thing is assault rifle definition. How does your state define an assault rifle? And the second thing is magazine limits, and those two are not necessarily connected, so you have to consider both of them. Now, I've grouped these states from the best of the worst to the worst of the worst for these laws. Okay, California, Colorado, and Maryland will be in the first group. New Jersey, Massachusetts, and Connecticut will be in the second group. And then New York and Cook County or Chicago will be in the last worst group. And at the end, we're going to look at Smith & Wesson's page on the 1522 to see these laws in action. I'm making this video on January 1st, 2018. Again, this is only for 22 LR rifles. All right, let's just jump right into it. California. California has no restrictions on any 22 LR rifle. You can have any evil features that you want, although there is an absolute 10-round mag limit, of course, unless you yourself owned a more than 10-round mag before 2000. Other than that, that's the only limit on 22 LR rifles. You can have a telescoping stock, you can have a pistol grip, you can have a muzzle device, anything. Just 10-round mag limit is the only limit. There are no limits on tube fed, such as a Marlin 60, and no limits on a bolt action. Of course, if it's a bolt action with a detachable mag, you still have to abide by the 10-round mag limit. In Colorado, there are no restrictions on 22 LR rifles. There's some weird ones. Let's see here. Sorry about that. In Colorado, there's no restrictions except for a 15-round mag limit. That's it. In Maryland, there's no restrictions on 22 LR rifles. You can see right here from this Maryland State Police firearm search, you have this flow chart basically to go through. Is this weapon semi-automatic? If not, it's not banned. So they're saying if it's not semi-auto like a bolt action, then you're already good. You don't have to worry. It's not banned. The second thing says, if this is a rifle, is it centerfire? If it's not banned. So they're saying if it's a rimfire, then it's not banned. You're good to go, and you can have it in any configuration you want. Although in Maryland, of course, you do have a 10-round absolute mag limit, but there is no restriction on tube-fed or bolt-action rifles. All right, next we get into the second group, and we get into New Jersey here. Now, New Jersey does regulate 22 LR, and they basically keep the same rules as what Clinton's ban did in '94. If it's a semi-auto with a detachable mag and two of these things, then it is regulated and you cannot have it. So if it's semi-auto, detachable mag, and it has two of these, a folding or telescoping stock, a pistol grip that protrudes conspicuously beneath the action of the weapon, a bayonet mount, a flash suppressor, or any type of muzzle device, and a grenade launcher. If it's semi-auto with detachable mags and any two of those, you cannot have it. And in New Jersey, there's a 15-round mag limit. Let me see here. I have a more thorough one I forgot to put on here. In New Jersey, there's no restrictions on bolt action or tube fed, except there's an absolute 15-round mag limit there. Okay, Massachusetts is complicated. Massachusetts, let's see here, put out their enforcement notice with this Maura Healey that was saying that they were cracking down, not letting manufacturers sell guns that were copycats of things that weren't allowed. So in this enforcement document, they put out an addendum to it saying guns that are not assault weapons. And this is complicated because it says what are not assault weapons? Any 17 or 22 caliber rimfire rifle. So you would think from that, well, you're good. There's no 22 rifle that's going to fall under the definition of an assault rifle. But as you look at the end down here, there's a question. Are any 17 or 22 caliber rimfire rifles affected by the enforcement notice? No. However, a weapon that is manufactured as an assault weapon cannot be made legal by alterations that would allow it to discharge 17 or 22 caliber ammunition. In my mind, when I read that, what it means to me is taking a real AR-15 and somehow making it to be able to shoot a 22 22 LR round. For instance, taking a real AR-15 and putting just a conversion bolt in it. But apparently that's not it, because I saw people talking about the fact that a 1522 falls under this, that it wouldn't be allowed, which doesn't make sense to me because a 1522 is only made to shoot a 22 LR. But from what I've read, a Smith & Wesson 1522 fits underneath this. So then you have to look at Massachusetts' definition of a assault rifle, and it says any semi-auto rifle that accepts a detachable magazine and has two of the following. Basically this exact same thing as New Jersey. So it's going to fit in exactly, basically like New Jersey's law on that. And in Massachusetts, you have a 10-round mag limit. There are no restrictions on bolt action or tube fed. Of course, if the bolt action has detachable mag like a Mossberg MVP, then you still have the 10-round mag limit there. Okay, and then the last one in this group is Connecticut. And it's basically the exact same thing as Massachusetts and New Jersey, really. If it's a semi-auto with detachable mag and two of those items from that, basically the same list on all of these, then you can't have it. Then there's a 10-round mag limit, of course, in Connecticut. Tube fed, such as Marlin 60, no mag limit, and no restrictions on bolt action except, of course, 10-round mag limit. Now the last group, the last worst group, and as I've looked at all these, really New York and Chicago, and there was even some suburb of Chicago that was even worse than Chicago itself. But anyways, the last two here in this group are New York and Chicago. So in New York, what they did, let's see, oh, I'm sorry, this was Connecticut. Yes, right here, Connecticut says if your semi-auto is detachable, semi-auto detachable has two of those, then it's not legal. Okay, here's what New York did. Semi-auto, detachable mag, and has at least one of the following. And this is from New York Safe Act of 2013. And so what they did is they made it even more restrictive than Clinton's ban on 94. So if it's semi-auto and detachable and it has one of the following, you cannot have it. So folding telescoping stock, pistol grip, thumb hole stock, second hand grip or whatever, a bayonet mount, flash suppressor, a grenade launcher. So actually, I have my notes wrong here. I didn't see that till just now. So on a 1522, I'll show you in a second when we look at that on Smith & Wesson's website. It has to have all of the evil features removed, and on top of that, it cannot have a pistol grip. So they had this, what they called a spur, or something like that. One of my friends on YouTube, Guns of Freedom, showed him having one of those, I believe. In New York, they have a 10-round / 7-round mag limit. Now, the Safe Act says that you can only have 7 rounds. Even if it's a 10-round mag, you can only have 7 rounds in it. But then I think there was some judge somewhere that halted that for some reason, and I think it's up to 10 rounds now, though. If you're tube fed and bolt action, all those are all right, but there's still an absolute 7-round limit, possibly 10. That's vague. But if you have, for instance, a Marlin 60, you can only put 7 rounds in the tube. Okay, Cook County or Chicago is the same as New York. It's just as bad. Semi-auto rifle, it doesn't say semi-auto center fire. It's just any semi-auto. So rimfire fits within this definition. If it's semi-auto detachable and has one of the following, you cannot have it. Folding telescoping stock, hand grip, forward grip, threaded barrel, grenade flare, or rocket launcher. Make sure you don't have that rocket launcher on your 1522 or a barrel shroud, whatever they mean by that. I know what a barrel shroud is, but what do you think the odds are that they really know what a barrel shroud is? I wonder what they mean by barrel shroud. I don't know. Crazy. And then there's a 10-round mag limit in Cook County, in Chicago. Now, anywhere else in Illinois, you're good. You have to have the FOID card, the FOID card, to get mags or to get ammo or guns. But anywhere else in Illinois, you're not bound by any of these laws from Chicago. You can have basically any kind of rifle that you want. No mag limits anywhere else in Illinois. Okay, so quickly over here on Smith & Wesson's website, you can see right here they have their 1522 California compliant model, which is actually goes for more states. California's the main one, but then Colorado and Maryland. The only real restriction on this rifle, the only thing that's got about it is that it has a 10-round magazine, because it has a 6-position stock. You can see it has a threaded muzzle. It's got a muzzle device on it. So it's got everything, all the evil features. The only thing is that it has that 10-round magazine. That's the main thing to make it compliant for these 3 states. These are the best of the worst. Okay, this is for the second group. This is for Massachusetts, Connecticut, and New Jersey. You can see it has a 10 round mag, but the stock is fixed on it. Okay, fixed stock, and you can see it does not have a threaded muzzle. So if you remember in that list, it said that if it was a semi-auto with a detachable mag, this is a semi-auto rifle, this mag is the detachable, it says that if it has 2 of them, then it won't work. So this one has a pistol grip. That's the only one of those that this one has, because the stock doesn't telescope. It does not have a threaded muzzle. It does not have a bayonet lug. It does not have a grenade launcher. Surprise, surprise. And so anyways, that's why it makes it legal for these 3 states right here. Now here's a 1522 that is made legal for New York. And you can see right here it has this pistol grip spur, or I forget what he called that thing, but it's a spur something, I don't know. Anyways, so it doesn't have any of the stuff. This stock is fixed. It does not have a threaded muzzle, does not have a grenade launcher, does not have a bayonet lug, doesn't have a pistol grip, so all of that. So it doesn't have any of them. This is what you would have to do in New York, and I suppose this is what you would have to do in Cook County if you wanted to have a 1522 there also. Those are some of them. I know Hawaii has a 10 round mag limit, I think, and there's some other states that have some other little restrictions, but I have people who ask me questions about my videos of all my 22 LR rifles, and a lot of times they ask me questions about these state compliant things, and even with me making this video, and that's one of the reasons I'm making this, is so that I'll be able to answer those questions better and for me to reference back to this. I'll try to put some links to all of these documents from all these state agencies so that you can click to that if you want to see that. Spent several hours getting all that put together. But anyways, there's kind of the list on 22 LR rifle restrictions in these different states. I hope this helps. I know probably made some mistakes. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Thanks for watching today.